Welcome back to my channel. I'm Zipporah, the Lux Angel, and today I am back with another tarot card reading. And please remember that these readings are timeless, general, and for entertainment purposes only. That means only listen to what directly applies to your personal situation, leave the rest for someone else, and by all means, please contact licensed professionals and or the proper authorities regarding any mental, medical, legal, or financial emergencies and or crises. That being said, let us begin. First things first, the handbag of the day is my beautiful Gucci Marmont small shoulder bag, and she will serve as the vision board inspiration for all you abundance manifestors out there. If you'd like to see me styling my luxury capsule collection, you can check out the series I have right here on YouTube called Battle of the Bags. All right, that being said, let's begin. I am going to start by choosing a deck for your reading, and I am going to go with Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot Deck by Matt Hughes. I am going to shuffle, so if you don't want to stay through the shuffling, I will have the timestamp listed in the description box for you below. Let's begin. Please and thank you, Spirit. What messages do we have for the collective today? Collective energy. Thank you, Spirit. 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 Collective energies. Thank you, Spirit. Collective energies. Thank you, Spirit. Collective energies. Thank you, Spirit. All right, we'll just do one more. And let us begin. We're starting with the Three of Cups. Okay. Celebrating and positive energy. Feeling good with others. Maybe mutual dreams realized. But we are in a celebratory feel-good energy is what I'm seeing here. We have Justice. Ooh, yay. Well then, okay? We got the right to feel happy. We have the right to feel giddy, okay? That's how it's supposed to be. Well, I like that, okay? Justice says yes, celebrate, feel victorious, enjoy, have a good time, feeling the elated vibes. We like that. I will take that. What else have we? We have the Strength card. Wow. Well, can't nobody F with you, period. Like, oh, well, no wonder y'all feeling good. Can't nobody F with y'all. Okay. I mean, there's a little bit of self-righteousness here with this one. There is like, okay, look, and this, and that, and yes, and we will. Okay, we will kiki, we will celebrate, we deserve it. Hallelujah. Amen. I'll take that. Six of Wands. Okay, we're on to something. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. Damn. What happened though? Who did y'all overcome? Y'all had to have overcome something. Because justice means it had to be like reviewed, weighed, balanced. Okay, this is the decision. Okay. Then strength is like, we need the forces of the Almighty. We gonna overcome this ish, right? And then Six of Wands is like, oh yeah, we got the victory. I mean, there's no victory without some competition, some drama, some something. So clearly, y'all overcame, and clearly, yes, the kiki the poet up is very well worth it because y'all done overcame. Because you see, he got this, okay, right. Okay, so he's got this is the Six of the Wands. He's got the one wand, but you see, there's the 4 and the 5 back there. And we know the 5 of Wands is competition. He like, psh, ran away and won. Nobody care. And won. Okay. We got a 3-pointer and won. Okay. Yeah, because this is the 4th card. Okay. That's the extra point. Okay. Oh, snap. Is there a little bit of gloating going on? You're like, yes, we done won. Okay. Everybody knows we done won is a victory and it is just. Well then, congratulations. I don't know why, but here we go. We have the Star. Well, it just keeps getting better now, doesn't it? Well then, the Star. Well, Spirit wants you to celebrate, okay? Spirit wants you to celebrate, have a good time, enjoy yourself, because I don't even know why. It's going to be different for all of you. But clearly this is what is what is owed to you. It is what is due to you. To celebrate, to enjoy, to be free. Okay? To move on, do what you love. Y'all overcame something. Maybe something that was the complete opposite of this. Like keeping you from feeling authentic with the Leo strength card, right? Okay? From feeling balanced with that justice, Libra energy, all right? From feeling victorious, like you achieved something. Like something was keeping you from that. Ew. And so Spirit is saying the healing is for you to engage in all of that energy because you deserve it. Clearly, with the Star card here. Well then, we have the Ace of Pentacles. Wow, opportunities coming to you. And Spirit says this is justice because, like I said, something was keeping y'all back from this. Something was keeping y'all back from feeling at peace, at balance, being your real self, and feeling like you achieved something in your life. And finally, you have broken free, and Spirit is bringing in all the opportunities to make that happen for you. Well, that is beautiful. And thanks, Spirit. Thank you, Jesus. We got the Hierophant here. Wow. Now, what is this? Okay, well, first of all, y'all are skilled and knowledgeable, right? Y'all have a lot to share and give to others. However, also, this is also representing in this spread, in this house, what was keeping you back. And it's either a marriage or some religious type of beliefs, some traditional type of mindsets, some limiting type of beliefs. And it is unfortunate, that this is what happens, but this is what happens. That's why, there's Taurus, the tradition, what we know, this earth. But then the opposite is Sagittarius, right? Going beyond what we know, learning something higher, newer, new cultures, new ideas, right? Because this, in the lower vibration, and that's what I'm getting is the lower vibration, is rigid mindsets and limiting beliefs, pigeonholing, and telling you, no, that's not what we do. That's not how we do it over here. That's not what you're going to do. That's not what I agree with. That is not our culture. That is not us. But with the Leo card, which is authenticity in yourself, y'all overcame that. Yep. Overcame. Look, 7 of Wands. That's having to defend yourself and stand your ground. And that's right under the 6 of Wands, where you're victorious in doing so. Y'all overcame some limiting and or traditional type beliefs. It's going to be different for all of y'all what the tradition is, but it's something that is different to what others around you may have felt. Okay, different to how you were raised, different to maybe even what you once believed at a time. You had to break up out of it. The Spirit is saying celebrate because now you've overcome that because you stood up for yourself. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Spirit is saying you're going to be stable. So for those of you where this was a marriage, because I said the Hierophant is in the 7th house, okay, of partnerships. Okay. Spirit is saying you're going to be stable without this person. You got to stand up for yourself. Okay? And the justice is coming in the 2nd house, which is the Taurus house of earned income and values. So this could have been financially abusive or just like people thinking that because they held a title and or some traditional value that they could dictate to you what you were going to do. And with the Ace of Pentacles here, okay, in the second house, this is like, not the second house, I'm sorry, the sixth house. It is like a new opportunity for you when it comes to work. And then it ends up in the Queen of Pentacles. So it's just like you're being independent, financially independent. Okay, this is financial independence and opportunity and the chance to stand up for yourself and say, I get to do what I really love to do. I get to be who I really want to be. And, you know, I'm so sorry that, well, I'm sorry, not sorry that you don't agree with that, but I gotta go. This was 2 cards the whole flipping time and didn't even know it. All right, didn't even know it. We have the Moon. And that just lets me know this was something that, like, yeah, it was like brewing inside of you secretly and behind the scenes, and there was a lot of fears associated with you going forward, because it's almost just like you being in the situation you were in where you could have been, what I'm seeing is like financial abuse. And that could be, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. Like you can have, I'm reminded of a certain housewife who I won't name, but she's on Potomac. And her mother was super rich and like controlled all the apron strings and like was all up in her relationship and just like, okay, so, and there's a Housewives of Atlanta person just like that, where her mother is a hierophant, a pastor or whatever. And it's just like all up in the relationship. It's like, how can you be an independent person when your mother or parent is literally the God in your head dictating everything? You're not a free individual person. So it's kind of like, if they escaped that, kudos for them. But if their partners escaped that because they couldn't, then kudos for their partners. Because, like, I can't be in a relationship with you when you're really enmeshed. Okay? Enmeshed. Go and look at that. Look it up. Enmeshment. Familial enmeshment. When y'all are a hive mind. And I can't even be with you because you're literally like codependent on your parents' mind. So it does not have to be a romantic relationship that was the hive mind. Now, it could be. There are relationships, romantic relationships and partnerships where it is the partner, the spouse, who is like, well, I run things here. I make the money. I am the public figure. I am the one with the say-so. I am the learned knowledge, blah, blah, blah. And you got to do what I said. This is how we run things. Either way, there would be fears associated with leaving that, because you're not used to being on your own, because you being an independent person was not nurtured in you. So there would be a lot of fears. That's what the Moon represents. It's like the hidden challenges, it's the anxieties, the things that are lurking in the dark that make us feel like this. 9 of Swords, worried, anxious. Oh my gosh, is this going to work out? Are people going to laugh at me? Am I going to end up in shame? Because you're used to your higher authority being some other person outside of you. Because they planned it that way so they can manipulate you and control you, you see. Kudos for y'all if y'all broke free. And I'm seeing where y'all broke free. Okay? I'm seeing the breaking free of that. Kudos. Hallelujah. Because guess what? You're allowed to fail. Because that's what they will do. Well, you know what? This person, if you go off with them, they're going to do this. Or if you're going to leave me, you're going to go out there and this is going to happen. Blah, blah, blah. That's terrible. God don't do that. God does not give you, okay? And I'm saying this because the Hierophant is here. Religiosity and tradition is at play here, causing these fears. God does not give you the spirit of fear. So if there's some religious ass, traditional ass person in your life giving you a fear spirit, they're not of God. They're of the synagogue of Satan. And you can tell them that shit too. Oh yes, we're calling them all out to the fucking carpet. Because I'm sick and tired of religious ass, traditional ass folks masquerading like they got light when they don't. They are what Jesus called of the traditions of men. That's what Jesus referred to religions as. Jesus was not in an organized religion. So I'm so sorry for all the organized religions out there. Jesus was not a part of that. He was completely out of that and separate. This is why he teached. This is why it was like where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I am in the midst. Not where there's a whole synagogue or a church or something like that. Because it produces hive mindsets. And it is what they called the traditions of men rather than the spirit of God. If someone's giving you the spirit of fear, well, if you go out on your own, good luck, because this can happen. We're allowed to fail. Oh, yes, we're allowed to fail because that's how we learn on this here earth. So if we did go out on our own and something did fail, that's not indicative of the fact that we had to stay under that person's rule and under their traditions. That is indicative of the fact that, we're learning and we're growing and we learned we can fail and get back up, because guess what? All the greats failed. Okay? How many tries at the light bulb did it take? Something like 1,000, something like that. It took a lot of trials, okay, to get to that light bulb. Great inventors, they tried and failed and had to tweak until they got to what it was that was the invention that was for a lifetime that helped all these people, right? This is why we're still, donating to St. Jude's and all these types of things, because they're researching, right? They're looking into this and looking into that, and hopefully this works and maybe this will work. Exactly. So if someone makes you feel like, see, you left this and you failed, and you left this and it might not go well, so you should stay here. That's a demonic mindset. That's not the spirit of Christ or the spirit of Jesus or God or anything. God gives you the spirit of empowerment and love. Not you need to stay here in this narrow ass mindset because, it's scary out there in the world. That's Mother Gothel. Mama knows best. Listen to your mumsy. Exactly. And that's for their own benefit. So they can continue to reap whatever narcissistic supply, and usually it is feeling superior to you, that they're gaining. So if y'all overcame that, yes, no wonder the 3 of Cups came out. Celebrate. Pull it up. You're free. Free your mind. And the rest will follow. Some of y'all freed y'all flipping mind. Y'all freed yourselves of these, y'all balance y'all values, because this justice balance card is coming in the 2nd house of values. Okay, y'all had to figure out what y'all really believe, because it looks like there was somebody or something that had a hold on you, making you feel this is not of God. Fear and worry and stress and anxiety, that's not of the divine. So if there's some type of traditionalist mindset making you feel that way, rebuke it. Rebuke it. Okay? We're not perfect beings, and we're allowed to try things and explore for ourselves, and we don't need to be under the limiting beliefs of anybody, okay, who ain't God. And God don't give no limiting beliefs. God gives the truth. The truth. No, what just happened? Something flipped over, did it? Let me see. Did something flip over? Oh, yes, it did. What is it? The 4 of Swords. So I'm seeing a lot of y'all being able to rest now from the worry. See, look at the difference between these cards, right? Stone at peace. Silence, right? The 4 of Swords is about rest, recuperation, right? And the fierceness on this person's is like, I'm good, right? You're not going to sway me. All these mocking voices, that's just what they are. They're voices in your mind put there by fear. But you need to be stone solid in your trust in the divine. The Spirit is saying you can rest now because you've overcome. What I'm seeing is y'all got the victory over these limiting mindsets, limiting beliefs that have held y'all bound in fear, making y'all feel like y'all could not be successful if y'all weren't loyal to this group. Hive mindset. And look at that. Success. 9 of Pentacles. Y'all be able to have your own success, stability, and security because y'all have listened to your own authority. You're allowed to be the authority in your life. Like the divine speaks directly to you, right? The divine speaks directly to you, which is why Jesus said, just like I sit in my Father's throne, you can sit in your Father's throne. Jesus was literally telling us, you can be a Christ. He said there would be many more after me. They don't like to dwell on that part. They don't like to dwell on that part, okay? Because that would fly in the face of you worshiping their religion and acting like their religion is your God when it's not. For some of y'all, that's what this is. It comes up sometimes in the collective, people having to free themselves of indoctrination of whatever belief system was in their past that held them captive because they're too afraid to get out of it. And so kudos to you, you have escaped. Oh, yes. And it's like, now that you're free, because I mentioning one person in Potomac whose parents had, the money and stuff. It was pulling on the heartstrings. But it's like, now that they have their own independent success, this is what I'm seeing here. Now that you have your own independent success, you'll be able to learn something new. The 8 of Wands is about communication, fast communication, rapid communication. This is how we learn and how we grow, through trial and error. And it's like, that is about to be the saving grace to help you transform. Okay? Because there's nobody who should have your mind in a cell saying, well, if you don't believe like this and think like this and act like this, you're going to fail because this is the only way. No. When Jesus said, I am the only way, he was talking about his mindset, the Christedness. I sit in my Father's throne, you can sit in your Father's throne. Ask, believe, receive. Jesus was not a part of no organized school of thought. Okay? Jesus was out here arguing at the age of 12 with the priests and stuff like, what, huh? And that's what we're supposed to do. Okay? Because Romans chapter 13, what Spirit says to one person don't mean he said that to everybody. And this has got to be something to do with somebody's religion. I mean, I normally don't get this damn preachy and stuff, but this is the Hierophant card. But I will tell you, it's just like, this is why, and I was just about to bring up a very, very good example. Oh, what it was like, and this is, okay, the issues with organized religions. Particularly, we're going to talk about Christianity because that's what I have experience with. I don't have experience with every other religion. I don't want to talk about them or whatever. But what I experience is this. It's just like, unfortunately, Christianity takes what God told the Hebrew Israelites and projects that onto all of humanity, as if God told all of humanity what he told the Hebrew Israelites, which is not even biblical, because even in the Bible, God had different sects, even within the Hebrew Israelites, right? He told the Nazarenes, you can't touch grapes, you can't cut your hair, Samson and all you other Nazarenes. He didn't tell the other Israelites that at all. They had some other directives. The tribe of Levi, they were the priestly line. They had to wear the crystals and do all these things. He didn't tell the other tribes that. Now, did he? God does not tell every single human to do these things, and that's the only way, and that's the only way. That's how you know it's demonic. It ain't of God to do that. It's in the Bible. The same way God told the Hebrew Israelites, y'all can't touch divination. You should not be reading no tarot cards. You should not be out here doing this, that, and the third with divination. But God did not tell the Magi that, right? That's why the Magi got the privilege of being at Jesus' birth, right? They were astrologers, right? Not just astronomers. They didn't just study the stars. They attached meaning to it, meaning they were astrologers. And they were the people who got the privilege of being at Christ's birth. Oh, this star means there's going to be a Christ born, and we need to get over there because that's going to be great. Let's get over there, give him some frankincense and myrrh and all that good stuff, right? Gold and all that good stuff, right? God wasn't like, oh, no, you astrologers. You can't be here next to the divine. No. Why? Because God doesn't tell every single person the same thing. He leads us in different directions. And that's why we're not to judge. Read Romans chapter 13. And unfortunately, there are a lot of organized religions, specifically fundamentalist religions, that, like I said, they take what God told one group of people and project it all onto all of humanity and act like, well, you're evil if you do this, and you're wrong if you do this, and if you don't do it this way, oh, you're going to fail, and you're going to do this. But it looks like God spoke to you, and you listened, and that's why you're going to be successful. That's why you're going to be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And what is in the house of the mind? Strength. Strength to overcome, right up under it, this. Religious mindsets, groupthink. Kudos to y'all if y'all overcame that, because it literally is a form of brainwashing. And I know, because I was raised fundamentalist. Okay? To overcome that is very difficult, because they make you feel like you're going to die and burn in all eternal hell if you don't believe what the hell that they believe. So if you are able to overcome, and it doesn't have to be just religion, but that's strongly what I'm getting here, clearly. But it doesn't have to be just that. It could be any like system of, because remember I said also relationships. It could be, okay, well, if you're not married, or if you didn't do this and you didn't have children, or it could be any traditionalist line of thought or whatever it is. Okay. And it doesn't even have to be traditionalist. You could be completely atheist and that was your tradition. And now you're like, oh, I love Jesus. Whatever that had a groupthink hive mind on you and you broke out of it, Spirit said it's a celebration. We gonna celebrate, hallelujah, pull it up, because that's why she in the vineyard, right? Pull it up, because you've overcome that, and now you can receive the communication of what? The divine, right? For the transformation, the renewal, the regeneration of your mind and your soul. And it might be sad too, but it's necessary. It is necessary. Oh my gosh, you're about to feel so much relief, so much joy, because you're not going to be burdened and saddled with lines of thoughts and conviction that aren't even yours. Just know, though, that sometimes when you're doing that, you can still feel pangs of sorrow and regret and sadness, because it's like, that's what you knew. Your body is used to it. Like you were fed and nurtured on that stuff. But the new life you're going to have with being able to have like-minded people and people who can validate your experience and understand where you're coming from, that is an achievement in and of itself. And you answered the divine call. You answered the divine call. Okay? Not everybody is called to every single thing. And you answered yours. And that is why you can celebrate and rest. But Spirit is saying you are going to need this rest, though, because the amount of guilt that can come on because you are already conditioned in whatever you were conditioned is going to be intense at times. You're going to be feeling like this, like, what did I do? And oh my gosh, and maybe I was led wrong, and I don't know. And oh my gosh, but Spirit said, peace, be still. Be still, be stoic. And that's what the Queen of Pentacles is all about. Nurturing, balance, stability. Okay, focus on that, because that's your healing. It's like the way that God is providing for you and making sure you're still good, even though other people are going to tell you that you won't be successful and you won't be able to do this and God's going to leave you or whatever the hell they're telling you. It's like, focus on the good that God has given in your life, because it's the sign that God is still with you, the divine is still with you, and that you're on the right track. Okay. Let me get some oracle cards with this one. I'm going to go with the Ascended Masters oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. Yeah, Spirit is trying to let you know that they're stabilizing you and you don't have to worry. Because I feel like it's like almost like it's messing with your sense of security. Like as if you won't be stable or you're going to somehow falter because you're not in alignment with whatever this is. So something like that. I don't know what they were teaching or what the mindsets you had about whatever tradition this is. It's almost just like, oh, if I'm not in this tradition, like, will I be successful? This also gives me like fraternities, okay, or secret societies, where it's like, oh, if I'm not in the secret society, I won't be successful. They have so much control over the earth and they have so much control. They don't got control over God's creation. They don't have no control. Everything that they have, God allows them to have for the ultimate revealing. We'll just say that. We'll just say that. For the ultimate revealing. Spirit be knowing what they be doing. For the ultimate revealing. But Spirit is saying it doesn't matter. Like, let's just say they were right for them. That's right for them. If they're following some tradition and they're in it, that's right for them. Don't mean it's right for you, though. See? Romans chapter 13. That's why we ain't judging no another man's servant. And what Spirit tells you, Spirit tells you. The Spirit is saying you successfully stood up for yourself, and now it's just like you need to be at rest and at peace and try to calm your anxieties. Whether, like I said, you need to go to a therapist, get some books, however it needs to happen, you need to calm your anxieties, because it's like you did the right thing for you. You're listening to what Spirit put in your heart, and that's what you're supposed to do. Even if it's not prevailing thought. Find the blessing in your current situation. That's what Spirit wants you to feel. Okay, Krishna, that's about happiness. Like, find the blessing, find the joy, find the peace. That is right up above the Three of Cups, which is about celebration and happiness and good vibes, and the Star, hope and healing, and then allowing that to nurture you with this Queen of Pentacles. It's like, try to focus on all the goodness that God has brought into your life, or Spirit, divine, whatever your higher power is, hell, whatever is brought into your life. We have health and healing. Yes, you're going to need to. Okay. And it's just like you getting your mind right in these areas are going to cause blessings to manifest in other areas of your life, because you're not so, like, imagine being focused on fear and anxiety and worry and regret. Can you do your best work? Or when you're feeling free and light and at peace and blessed, can you do your best work? Right? So it's just like you are going to need some healing. Okay. You're going to need to continue. It says, but you can do it. Archangel Michael says you can do it. That's protection. And that's letting you know, especially if this was doing some secret societies or something like that, you're protected. Don't worry about them or no retaliation or something like that. Because we have the Strength card. Archangel Michael, you can do it. The Strength card overcomes everything. Overcoming these hierophants, these people who think that they have the power, and this Nine of Swords, the projections they might send to you because you decided to exit or to follow something else. And they will send projections because they don't like feeling like it's almost like a narcissistic thing. Some of them, not all of them, we're not going to, paint with a broad brush. But some of them, it's like a narcissistic thing. Like, how dare you? Like, if you leave and you're rejecting us and you don't like us and what? And you don't believe in me. And it's not about the divine or Spirit or anything. It's about them and their egos. So the Spirit says, you have protection. Okay? So don't worry about them and their egos. They can go and argue with their egos. Shout out to Chloe_. She is so funny sometimes. You can go argue with your liver. You can go argue with your crunchy wig. You can go argue with your broad back. You can go... I be cracking up. The funniest, though, is when she says you can go argue with your liver. I be cracking up. Like, yes, maybe we do need to stop drinking. But today, you about to pull it up, though. Because we got the Three of Cups and we got the Vineyard, so... Okay, don't worry, just don't overdo it, don't tarry at the wine, but you're going to celebrate because you done overcome something major where you freed your mind so the rest will follow. You freed your mind so the abundance will follow. Nine of Pentacles is all about abundance, and it's self-made and it's self-sustaining. Okay? So you got to celebrate all of that. Look at that. Nurture yourself. You're going to have to, because... our conditioning is strong. What they say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. That's why they try to get them young, the youth. Okay? The Hitler, try to get them young, the Hitler youth. That's why they be having Sunday school and Sabbath school. They always try to get you young because your mind is so impressionable. And when they program your ass, it is so much harder to let go. But when you do let go, this is what you need, because that conditioning is still going to be at play trying to protect you, like, oh, but what if they were right? And what if it's true? And oh. So you're going to need to nurture yourself however you need to do that. Like I said, whether it's therapy, it's right next to You Can Do It from Archangel Michael. So protect yourself, nourish yourself. Try not to go back to those schools of thoughts that get you back into those limiting beliefs, that anything that gets you into this state, that's not of the divine, period. God does not give you this, period. Not at all. God gives you the spirit of this. Victory, power, and love, right? That's what that is. Power and love. We are good. So you need to, and now under the bottom of the deck, it says work your magic. Exactly. What Spirit put in you is for you. It's yours. Work that. Take charge of the situation. Okay, so some of y'all might need to actively disengage from situations that put you back in that mindset. See, detach from drama and purification. So it's like, this is when it's like, if you disagree with your enemy in the path, you need to separate as soon as possible. It's like, you can't necessarily be all around people who put you back in these states. So it's like, this is where your circle changes. It does. And it has to change because you need this energy healing, right? You need people who are in alignment with the new school of thought that God has given you, which is why when Jesus, after he was arguing with the priests and stuff at 12 years old in the synagogue, then he was out in the fields and he had his disciples. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't with the Pharisees and the Sadducees who was off in the temples and stuff like that. He was off somewhere else, being about his Father's business. And this is where you need to be about your Father's business. Okay? You don't need to be arguing with no Pharisees, Sadducees. And this is all, I'm using this as an example. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just naysayers, people from your past were like, but are you sure? But why would you do that? And, oh my gosh, you didn't, all that. We don't need it. Okay, take charge of the situation and start finding like-minded individuals. And sometimes it takes you just being with yourself for a while because you're going to need to heal. Like, if you have to change your circle, like, it's just like if you're in a 12-step program, let's say you were alcoholic or something like that. Guess what? You can't hang with people when they're drinking, right? Your life has changed, your beliefs has changed, and to aid you need to be around people who are conducive to your continuing evolution on that path. So this is where that is what we need to do. Okay, we're trying to heal and get protected with Archangel Michael. So we need to nourish our new line of thought, our new self, and what's going on. Protect it at all costs. And find the blessings in that. And the blessings in that is, yes, it may be sad because some people might have to, leave your life if they can't get on board. And if they're constantly trying to make you reevaluate what you already know to be true. But the blessing in the situation is coming up out of this. Because that's all it's going to make you feel. They're going to make you feel what they're questioning. That's all they're going to make you feel. When Spirit wants you to feel like this, like, hallelujah, let's sing praises, because we're free now. We're free now. We're free now. Okay? And a lot of this has to do with like abundance mindset. I don't know what you were in, but it's almost like you felt like if you didn't do it, you wouldn't be successful. And I think that's where this whole like fraternities and secret societies comes in, because a lot of people act like, well, you need to be a Mason, or you need to be in some fraternity, or you need to be in this group in order to be successful. Well, I'm not saying you don't need to be in a group at all or not participate in group activities. That's fine. But that group that you was in, that you left, that ain't the group for you though. Period. If Spirit led you off and you had to detach from it, it's time for a new group. And Pluto is in Aquarius. I've been saying this for about a year now since I started readings on this particular channel. Pluto, regeneration, drastically drudging up and transforming what we don't need so we can have what we do need. in the sign of Aquarius, groups, organizations, hive mindsets, group think. Who are you associating with, and are they for your highest good? That is what is going on in this current time for the next however long Pluto is all up in Aquarius. Okay. And breaking that ish down and breaking it down. Everybody was so happy and so gung-ho for Pluto and Capricorn. It was like, yes, breaking down the patriarchy, breaking down these structures. Oh, crickets. So it's like breaking down your associations in your group and everybody that you think is your friend. Okay, now it's like, yeah. Okay, but some of y'all did the work already. And that's why we can celebrate through this Aquarian energy, which is what the star card is. And we can feel stable as F because you did the work. Y'all did the work. And so all this whole reading is about is how you maintain that work. And that is by continuing to, continue to have ever before you the reminders of why you did what you did, continuing to understand the blessing of what it means to be out of that situation, remembering your why. What were you feeling? And y'all was feeling all kinds of dread. This is what y'all was feeling. This is why you left. Remember that. This is why you're coming up out of it. Okay? To feel celebration, success, and freedom. Freedom. Free your mind and the rest will follow. Keep following that feeling so that you're not tempted to go back to what was stifling you. And that is the message that I have for you all today. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you got something beneficial from it. And I thank you for stopping by this reading. Please remember to like, share with someone who cares, save it to a playlist for future reference, and by all means, subscribe for more wonderful readings and luxurious eye candy such as this. And until next time, have a gorgeous day. Bye.